Hi, my name is Megan Osborne. This is for Eco Literacy 201, Agriculture and Biodiversity. What is biodiversity? Um, it's the Smithsonian National Museum of Natural History defines biodiversity, short for biological diversity, as the variety of all living things and their interactions. Scientists have defined 3 levels of diversity, which are 1. Species, 2. Genetics, and 3. Ecosystem. The Smithsonian states that these levels cannot be separated. Each is important, interacting with and influencing others. Changes at one level can cause changes at other levels. Why is biodiversity important? Biodiversity is crucial because the processes involved sustain and support all life on Earth, from insects, plants, land animals, aquatic animals, and humans. It helps supply clothing, materials, medicines, as well as other materials needed for our everyday lives. The Royal Society also says many of our medicines, along with other complex chemicals that we use in our daily lives, such as latex and rubber, also originate from plants. All of our resources, from clothes to our car parts to our medicines and many more, are provided by Earth and its biodiversity. We're similar to the engine of a car. If one part breaks off or doesn't function properly, the rest of the engine or even the vehicle doesn't work right or breaks down. It's kind of how biodiversity works in our ecosystems. Moving forward to biodiversity in agriculture. The problem, the definition of monoculture, according to Oxford Dictionary, is the cultivation of a single crop in a given area. This is the current method of growing crops in many farms globally. The method requires tilling the ground and planting, which makes sense to a point, but this leads to the using of synthetic fertilizers with pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides following, because the dead things bring out other unwanted things. This also leads to farm runoff, which poisons nearby waterways, threatening the lives of aquatic animals and the animals living off that water who drink it. It also creates cyanobacteria because of the excess nitrogen provided by the synthetic fertilizers. Cyanobacteria is poisonous to humans, livestock, wildlife, and pets. I remember here in Ohio a few years ago there was an uprising of cyanobacteria in local lakes and rivers that were killing local dogs and making humans incredibly sick if they unwittingly swam in it. The problem part 2 is soil degradation. Why is soil so important besides the obvious? The soil is important for more than obvious reasons. It's important because the integrity of the soil is what produces good or great quality crops. Why is monoculture bad for the soil? It's a bad thing for monoculture is a bad thing for the soil because it strips the soil of nutrients the plants desperately need. The constant yearly tilling thins the soil out, making it hard for seeds to take root. Therefore, they can't hold a steady ground and receive the nutrients that they need. The weaker the soil, the less nutritional value, which calls for the use of synthetic fertilizers and the quote-unquote sides that follow it. Why is it bad for biodiversity? It's bad because with only growing one crop, the crop is lacking healthy nutrients provided by co-growing plants. Chemicals kill off necessary bugs needed for pollination. Also kills off mice and other rodents that would help prevent problem pests. Fox and coyotes eat the smaller animal species, as well as snakes eat the mice and rodents. Not to mention the water pollution we mentioned in the previous slide. It's a domino effect. It may seem small scale on this level, but it does trickle upwards. The target audience would be the FFA, 4-H, farmers market shoppers, and suppliers, sellers, and fellow farmers. What can these people do to help? They can help by by educating and advocating if they're not yet growing. They can support farmers who use nature's method of farming, which will be talked about here soon. And farmers can transition into nature's method growing and co-growing and organic farming. This is a socio-economic framework. In the green, we have the farmer plants and raises and invests resources into product. Farmer grows product and harvests product in the yellow. Dark blue, product bought by food processors. Pink, food bought by restaurants and other grocery stores, etc. Food bought by people and to be eaten in the light blue. And purple was still a need for food and other resources. And red, the farmer prepares for next planting season brood of animal. Effective pest management practices. Organic management practices. This helps by managing and testing the soil health. The University of Georgia says that in their article, Sustainable Agriculture at UGA, quote, collecting soil for a soil test is the most simple and important step in understanding what your current soil health or about your current soil health and learning about how you can improve the health of your soil over time depending upon your land use practices, end quote. Other practices include minimizing soil disturbances, cover crop usage, implementing a complex crop rotation, and compost and animal manures for fertilizer. Current and future management practices, more widely used practices from previous slides. And usage of tools from previous slide as well. Focus on prevention of disease and pests rather than treatment. The PAMS strategy. Prevention, avoidance, monitoring, and suppression. This can be found in the Organic Practices fact sheet attached in the references slide. Would these practices work? Yes, I believe these practices would work if implemented throughout our agricultural industry strategically, as to not cause ourselves shortages in food and other needed resources. I believe strategically implementing these practices, of nature's method and organic farming would be extremely helpful and responsible. This is my proposed management and framework connection. The green, the farmer grows and raises the livestock and invests time and resources into this. Farmer in the yellow, farmer harvests crops, sells livestock. Dark blue, the product bought by food, clothing, and other processors. The pink, items bought by stores, restaurants, medical supply chains, etc. Light blue, items bought by used by society. Purple, everlasting need for food and material. The red, the farmer prepares for the next season planting and livestock brooding. And we start back at green. Check out this swag. The product. So in our target audience slide, we talked about the FFA 4-H and farmers market to reach out to. I'd love to produce t-shirts, ball caps, water bottles, and koozies with the logo to the right. I'd also love to offer pamphlets and other reading materials as well as workshops and other resources to help farmers switch to nature's method. I think the logo helps explain in a short and sweet fashion why nature's method is important. I also think it's eye-catching design-wise. So the why it's relevant. I think I like the background lay of it. It's simple. I think it really is a short and sweet way to explain why nature's method is important. For the future, is it catching on? Yes, it is catching on. As of recent years, it's slowly gained popularity. It does need to be more widely accepted on large scale, though. Statista says between 2015 and 2021, the number of certified organic farmers in the U.S. increased by over 36%. The area of agricultural land in the U.S. has also increased since 2014 by reaching 3.54 million hectares in the U.S. in 2021. Thank you for your time. I really hope this information was interesting and inspiring, and I really hope that with this we can make a little bit of change to make a better future for ourselves and our environment. Here are my references, and the fact sheet is the fourth one down for the Pam's reference I talked about earlier. It's an awesome fact sheet. It provides so much information. Please check it out. Thanks.